It's been all about teams so far. Hello and welcome to our team, LAFC Plus. He is Mario Ruiz. I'm Dave Denholm. We are part of the LAFC radio broadcast team. We bring you LAFC Plus each and every week through the season and even during the offseason as well. This is episode 91 of LAFC Plus. Mario Ruiz, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just so happy to be back at BMO Stadium this Saturday because it kind of feels like this is the season opener 2.0 for me. I don't know if you get that same type of vibe, but that's what I get because I know we had the memorable open over at the Coliseum, and then we had the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions against Real España at BMO Stadium. But this one feels like it's going to be a festive atmosphere. It's going to be LAFC FC Dallas. This one feels like the season opener for me.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Actually, that's a very good point. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be another game against FC Dallas for Heung-Min. Of course, started his MLS career with a goal against FC Dallas. And I'm looking forward to maybe a couple of more. We'll talk more about that. That's where the teamwork little aspect comes up for this show, as the team is playing very well together, no doubt. This is LAFC Plus, presented by Hotel Indigo Los Angeles. We appreciate their support here on LAFC Plus. And we are really looking forward to it. LAFC trying to continue a perfect start, 4-0 in all games, all competitions. Mario talked about CONCACAF Champions Cup as well. We already won our series against Real España in 2 straight wins. We'll look forward to that coming up as well. But we do have this matchup coming up on the weekend in MLS play, trying to go to 3-0 in MLS play. Be the first time you'd ever win 5 games to start a season for LAFC, because it was the first time they've ever won 4, Mario, when they took care of business in Texas. Right. Now a Texas team comes to BMO Stadium with FC Dallas, LAFC hosting them Saturday. This is a dangerous team. They're 4 points from their first 2 matches, a win on opening match day for them over Toronto, 3-2, but admittedly a team that's still trying to find themselves too. Toronto hadn't added Josh Sargent yet. Full credit to Dallas, they get the win, but I really was impressed by their game against Nashville at home this past weekend, previous weekend, match day 2. It was 0-0, but I thought Dallas were the better team, and we all know how good Nashville can be. Yes, they've been missing a couple players, but that was a very good Nashville team that Dallas held down, Mario, and this is a team that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, they're always dangerous. Like you said, they have some dangerous players. Musa is going to be very, very dangerous for FC Dallas, but LAFC are just rolling right now, and they're just playing so well right now, and then coming back to BMO Stadium, you just get that feeling like the guys are just amped up on a high right now. And the scary thing is that the players and the coaches at LAFC, they know that they still have not peaked. And, it's early on, so of course they have not peaked. So there's another level to this team. And I was talking to Matthew Chouanier earlier today. Matter of fact, we'll bring you that interview in just a little bit. But that's what he told me. He told me that exact same thing. He said that there's no limits to this team. And I believe him, because that's how deep they are. And he also said that they're only going to keep going up, up, up as the year goes on, Dave.
Yeah, I think one thing we're noticing slightly different than last season already is, we're getting contributions from way more places on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Let's be realistic. Last season, it was a lot of Son and Denis, and that's fine. That can go a long way. No doubt about it. But at some point, you need contributions elsewhere on the field. And now we've got 5 goals from 5 different players to start the season. And, in MLS play, I should say. 5 goals in the first 2 matches. No goals allowed. But most importantly, and I know this sounds crazy, Son hasn't scored yet. He's got 3 assists. He is really taking a lot of heat off of a lot of other players. He drew a lot of attention to Inter Miami. We know that. He drew more attention seemingly against Houston and drew 2 red cards because of it. So that's where the teamwork comes from, Mario. We're seeing contributions from everyone. Yes, everyone's playing well, but we're also seeing contributions from different parts of the field in the attack. And that is going to be huge for this team. No question about it. You have to score sometimes from outside the 18 against bunkered-in teams, right? That's the bottom line against LAFC. Sometimes teams are going to bunker. You have to hit those 20-yard shots, and you've got to put them on frame. And every now and again, they're going to go in because you're that good. And we saw it against Houston.
Yeah, and you know who really sets the tone for this team? You mentioned him earlier, Son Heung-Min. Even though he has not scored yet like how we're used to at that pace, but still, though, he sets the tone in training. Son is, he's the man. Like, he doesn't like to lose in a real match. He doesn't like to lose in training against his own teammates, nonetheless. Whether it's a 1v1 challenge or it's like a simple crossbar challenge, he's out there competing like nobody else. He's a gamer and he plays at the highest level every single session. And that's what I was talking to Mark Dos Santos earlier today about the training sessions that they've been having, because they're very competitive just because of they're competing for minutes, right? There's so many players on this team that can be starters. So the training sessions have been something else. That's what he was telling me. He said that there was a 1v1 session yesterday with Porteous against Sonny. That was very, very intense. And you can imagine that because, like I said, Sonny does not like to lose. And Porteous is the most intense player in the league, probably. You know how he gets during these games. You see him yelling at his own teammates. He's yelling at everybody. And then he also said that there was a good 1v1 with Sergi and Boudry. And I was like, man, I wish I was there to see these training sessions, because these guys are just battling it out. And that's what makes this team better and better each and every single training session.
Well, pound for pound, Sergi and Amin Boudry are two of the strongest players on the team. I mean, they don't give an inch to anybody on the pitch. So that's interesting, no doubt about it. That matchup in practice is going to be even more and more exciting. Here's what I say about Son. If he wasn't getting chances, I'd be more concerned. Mm-hmm. He had a chance late against Houston, just missed, and he was frustrated by it. He doesn't need to be, but he was. He was really frustrated by it late. Thought he should have scored. Everybody probably assumed he was going to score on that shot because, frankly, last season, he did. Every time he had a chance like that, it was in the back of the net. Okay, he missed that one. He's had a couple of shots really, forcing really good saves out of keepers too, which doesn't always happen either. They made some really good saves so far. So it's not like he isn't getting opportunities. Those are going in the back of the net eventually, and they're going to go in bunches. I'm not worried about that. It's getting the wins. It's getting everybody involved, and he's got 3 assists. Like, he is drawing that attention. That's where the space opens up. And when you have players like Martinez and Denis Bouanga, of course, and Son, who can get that space, then you have Mark Delgado and Stefan Eustachio getting, going behind him and can finish from distance. I mean, there's no stopping him, really. So it's looking good. It's just 2 games. This is going to be a tricky one. And along those lines, we're going to bring you Booth to Booth now. This is a kind of a segment we've been doing of late, just to start this season, where we go and talk to the play-by-play personnel from the opposition. And so we're going to bring you this one. This is Ryan Figert from FC Dallas. FC Dallas, he's the play-by-play voice on the radio for them. It is Ryan Figert. Ryan, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate you joining us. And as we get to know our opponent here coming up on the weekend.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the game. Thanks for having me, Dave.
You bet. Ryan, my first question is, even a casual fan knows who Petar Musa is, of course, in world football, and such a key factor for FC Dallas. Who are the other players, though, that have to have a good game on Saturday for them to be successful?
Yeah, I think we'll look right along the spine of the team. Going to midfield, Christian Kappas is a guy who spent some time in the FC Dallas Academy before going abroad to Europe. We brought him back last summer. He has a really close relationship with Eric Quill, the head coach, and he's sort of the coach on the field in a lot of ways. He's the organizer, and he can do a little bit of everything in midfield. So up against some high-quality guys like a Stefan Eustachio on the LAFC side, I think he has to have a big game. And then moving a little bit further back, Osaze Urquide, who was just absolutely dominant against Nashville last week. He was in the MLS team of the match day. And with good reason, he's going to be matched up with Son. I think he's usually in the middle of the back 3 for us. So that's a huge matchup to watch. And then Michael Collodi, who had a fantastic game against LAFC at Toyota Stadium last year. He's going to have to be on his A game against the high-powered attack for LAFC.
I remember talking about Collodi after that match. It did not surprise me that the team moved on from Martin Paz, who was a great goalkeeper in his own right. He's obviously playing for Ajax now, but I thought Collodi, wow, I even mentioned that in social media. He was just so special in that match, and after watching him throughout most of the year. But going forward, we've had trouble with Logan Farrington in the past. Talk about his progression as a player and how important he is with Musa up front.
Yeah, it's sort of an old-fashioned striker duo where you've got 2 big number 9s that do a little bit of everything. They've got the physical presence, but they also have the creativity, and obviously they've got the finishing ability. So it's been fun to watch those 2 because they're, a lot of people don't necessarily know that they're great friends off the field. They've been roommates since both of them ride with the team 3 years ago, and they've just grown into this really fun to watch strike partnership. And Logan in his 3rd year, I think, has really developed in his ability to pick his moments. I particularly look at week 1 for us against Toronto when he had a goal and an assist. And he also completed 6 dribbles. He set up the winning goal. He did just a little bit of everything. And so when he's on his game, he just complements Musa so well, and they make a really exciting duo up top.
Some Brazilian flair on this team, which is not a huge surprise in MLS, certainly, with Kaique up there as well. A young player that we want to keep an eye on, Kaique, I beg your pardon. I'm trying to remember to say it as your broadcast taught me. So I know he sometimes mentions Kaique, but that's fine. Yeah. Talk about his talent. 20 years old, obviously came into the league at just 19 and still progressing, certainly, but he is progressing at a very good clip for this team.
Yeah, he's huge for us in terms of the ability to win the ball back in the middle of the field. His nickname is the Pitbull, and I think it goes down to a style of play where he's just all over the field, covering ground, nipping at your heels the entire time, making sure to win the second balls as well. I think he's really good at sort of vacuuming up those second balls after it's bouncing around in midfield. So he's got a little bit of everything. I think the areas he can still grow is with the ball and also sometimes in his discipline tactically. But that's why you have a Ramiro, a fellow Brazilian, in there sometimes. That's why you have a Christian Kappas in there to sort of help him, through the game. But his talent, his ability, and his athleticism is undeniable. So he's huge. And, we've seen sort of 45 minutes here, 60 minutes there, where he's shown us his top-level ability and what he could project to be. It's just about finding that consistency more often for him.
I'd like to ask this of our opponents. You happen to be coming on the road to BMO Stadium. Never easy on the road in MLS. We know that.
Never for us, especially, yeah.
Never for a lot of teams, I know. But how do they have success against this? What does that look like for FC Dallas to come into BMO and get a result? How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't think LAFC fans will be too excited to hear that. I think we need to be very disciplined defensively and look for counterattacks. We shifted to this 3/5 at the back system down the stretch last year, and that really helped us out, including the result against LAFC at home, the 1-1 draw, just in terms of solidifying things defensively and adding that extra center back, but also, adding a player like Herman Johansson, who's going to play on the right as the wing back, and his ability to stretch the field and get forward. I think that gives us a little bit more punch on the counter. So if they can absorb the pressure, if Kalodi, Osaze, and those guys at the back can be on their A game, there's going to be opportunities on the break with a Musa and with the wing backs also getting forward as well. So I think it's going to be, a tough task defensively in particular, and it's about picking the moments on the counter.
Ryan Figured, he's the voice of FC Dallas on the radio. We appreciate you taking the time here on Booth to Booth. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Looking forward to the game. Thank you.
So it's very interesting what he's talking about. It's going to be maybe a game where LAFC kind of have to, Mario, not be concerned, but they have to be ready to kind of break down a team again. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those where they're going to pack it. You heard him. They're going to need to kind of play very disciplined. What that means, in my opinion, is they're not going to give LAFC a lot. We saw that against Houston even to start that game. Then, of course, Houston really had to kind of bunker in with 10 men, then 9 men, so it's a whole different animal. I don't expect FC Dallas to come out flying against LAFC in this game.
Yeah, I think I wasn't expected to be talking about the low block very soon in the season.
Unfortunately,
I think teams are going to start to catch on that, LAFC got some pretty strong attackers, pretty dangerous attackers. So maybe that low block type of talk is going to start coming up very early on in the season when we talk about these opponents that LAFC are going to face. So I think LAFC are going to have to start to really focus in on beating those type of defenses, because I don't know if teams are going to, come at LAFC, because they know how dangerous LAFC are. But I think also for LAFC, I think since they are off to a flying start, everything is going well, they still have to keep that momentum going at home, in front of their home fans, in front of the 3252, making sure that BMO Stadium is that fortress, and that is going to be key, especially early on in the season. You got to set that tone early on in the season that teams are not going to come to downtown LA and take any points from LAFC. So it starts here with the first few games, and it starts with this one against FC Dallas.
Now, Mario, one guy that certainly can be a big part of LAFC's kind of holding in and making sure teams don't hit them on the counter is a guy like Matthew Choinière. Now, he's been doing it off the bench so far to start this season, but we know it's a long season. We know he's got plenty of experience in MLS. He looked great last season for the Black and Gold. This is a guy who can hold down that defensive midfield spot and even all over the midfield. He's been playing more on the wings or on the outside at times. I really like his game, of course. You got a chance to sit down with him earlier on Thursday.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Matthew Choinière, and he's loving the vibe in LAFC right now, not only because of the winning, but also because of the Canadian presence that's there in the locker room with LAFC as well. So check out my chat with Matthew Choinière. There's a strong Canadian presence now here with LAFC. You got Schaffelberg, you got Eustachio, your head coach as well, Marcos Santos. How nice is that to have that presence here at the LAFC locker room?
It's beautiful. It's guys that I know since a long time.
Yeah.
And I see them arrive in the locker room. It's just easy for me to connect, and for every Canadian, we get attached to each other. So it's beautiful to see this and to build that connection in clubs and with the national team.
Do you feel like Canadian players bring a different mentality, a different type of culture to the club than other players maybe?
I don't know. We're all a bit different, but
Yeah.
everybody's trying to bring his part in this group, and it's just been amazing to see all those guys coming in and fit well in the locker room. After that, we have a very good locker room, so it's easy for anybody to come in and feel the group. So it's been amazing.
Yeah. Now I know you're a big hockey fan from being from Canada and stuff like that. Do you ever get a chance to get out to any hockey matches out here in LA, maybe at Crypto.com Arena or something?
Not yet, but I can't wait to go see a game here. Basketball game also, all that stuff. Just to see other sports here.
Yeah. Now, how serious were you as far as like hockey goes? Is that something that maybe when you were growing up you considered like maybe I can play hockey over football, or was football always going to be your thing?
I started playing hockey.
Yeah. Okay.
My first sport.
Okay.
But then I switched quickly to soccer because I liked it more, and I was probably way better.
Yeah.
But hockey always been in my family and around me, so I enjoy it. And when I have free time, when it's cold where I live, I go outside and I can go play. It's always the best time.
Let's talk about your head coach, Marcos Santos. You've been playing under him for a few matches now. Also last year when he was the assistant coach. What are some of the things that he's been emphasizing on this year so far with LAFC?
He's trying to put everybody on the same boat, everybody with the same mentality and clear ideas of how we want to play. So I think it's easy for us to go on the pitch and we know what we have to do, play in our qualities and what type of team that we want to be. So we want to be a team that is tough to play against, defensively, offensively. We know we have people that can be very dangerous. So it's just everything is so clear with him that we can see that when we're playing at the moment, it's automatic for everybody what we have to do.
Yeah. Now, as a midfielder, what are you seeing? You're right in the middle of all the action. The team is doing well. What are you liking from the midfield position as you see the team playing well?
What I like is everybody's running for everybody. We're always staying compact. So for us midfielder, we always have an option. And when we're defending, we're close to each other. So it's easy to go and press the opponent and get the ball back and be on the ball and play again and just recycle this process over and over again and just being on the ball, dominate the opponent. So I like how we play.
Yeah. Now you guys got to try to keep the momentum going here at BMO Stadium. Next opponent is FC Dallas. When you guys watch film on that team, whenever you guys study them, what are you seeing? What stands out about FC Dallas?
I'll say at the moment we focus more on us, what we need to do to break them. And especially that keep moving the ball like we were doing. We know they're going to come and like they've been doing, a good block. And so try to disrupt a bit all of this by moving the ball fast and attacking. So that's basically it.
With the home crowd behind you guys, the 3-2-5-2 behind you guys, how important is to make BMO Stadium a fortress for you guys and make that statement early on in the season?
It's very important. I mean, the fans have been amazing since I came here. It's wow. It's this wall behind the 32-52. Wow, amazing. And they've been behind us every single game, and you can feel that opponents don't like to come here. with the noise that we have, the way that we play. And even when I'm talking with other players from other teams, they say, wow, the atmosphere here is amazing. So yeah, that's the fear that we want to bring. That's the way that we want to play, and the fans help us do this.
Yeah. Now with the way that you guys have started 2026, if you guys keep building on that, keep growing on that, how dangerous can this team be?
I think we have no limits. We can grow so much. We just started the year, and I think we didn't peak yet. So we're still going up, and I think all year is going to be this way.
Yeah, we can't wait. It's going to be a big 2026 for LAFC.
Yeah,
Appreciate
hopefully.
the time, Matthew.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Good
we're
stuff,
talking about
bro.
that depth of this team, and he's one of those guys that really could be starting on a lot of teams and around MLS. But every position has potential starters. That's just how good this team is. And I was talking to Enrique Duran, the assistant coach for LAFC. I was talking to him today, and we were talking about, the depth, and we were talking about when they rotate, there's not much drop off. The level is still there. So LAFC is going to be able to do that and keep guys fresh. But then, Enrique also added that the fact that they do rotate doesn't mean that they have to rotate a lot. They gotta be smart in the way they rotate, because not rotating too many players, making sure that there's still chemistry, there's still gelling there. Because if you rotate too many players, then it can get a little bit out of whack to say. But yeah, I mean,
Well, and I'm an old man, so I always end up saying this. Like, I'm an old man, so I'm like, these are kids. It's early in the season. They'll be fine. Like, these are 30-year-old men or younger. Well, some of them are a little older, obviously, but they'll be fine. And yeah, you do want to rotate a little bit, but yeah, fresh legs, all that. I get it. Still very early in the campaign. He's right. You've got to get guys sharp too. I mean, they're not exactly 100% that way yet either, which is amazing, quite frankly. But yeah, good stuff from Matthew Choinière. Good teammate, good guy. Love the Canadian connection. Love you talking about that as well. So that's really good. We do move on though. Not only on Saturday, it's going to be a big game against FC Dallas, but then almost immediately, Tuesday evening, back at BMO, a little later than usual. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff because of the scheduling for CONCACAF Champions Cup, and I think probably for television purposes, they've got the games staggered that night. Will be the last one officially on the night. LAFC hosting Alajuelense, Costa Rican giant in this round of 16 matchup. We've seen them before in this tournament. We've had some success. Alajuelense struggling a little bit. They just got a win earlier this week in their Clausura play, but they've been struggling a bit, kind of mid-table. Usually that's not where they live. Let's face it, they're the powerhouse in Costa Rica. So it kind of concerns me a bit because they've brought in some players. Joel Campbell, we all know, he's back. He's there. Ronaldo Cisneros, former MLS player. Kenneth Vargas. They got some good talent up front. If you had to guess how old Joel Campbell is, right? I'm not just asking you, Mario. I'm guessing the audience too, right?
I know.
It's got to be 45, right? You think the guy's been around for 30 years, it seems.
Yeah,
he's 33 years old. I couldn't believe.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
He's 33. Studying for the right? Am I wrong, or has he been playing for the last
so true
30 years? Like, the guy's amazing.
Yeah.
He's just been the top class, certainly. So a dangerous player there that we'll have to keep our eyes on. You can keep your ears on in the radio broadcast, but our players have to be very wary of him. And Mario, you mentioned it. It's kind of a different, obviously we're at home in the first match now. We got to go to Costa Rica. They're technically the higher seed in this matchup. They have the home field advantage in the last game. That makes it just a little bit trickier. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's the trickiest part for me, playing that first round at home, you got
to come out and play well.
Going to that second and deciding leg 2 in Costa Rica. That environment is going to be one of those hostile environments. They remember that last time when LAFC was down there in their house and Denis Bouanga put up a hat trick against them. They remember that LAFC shut them out in their home turf in front of their home fans. So that's going to motivate them. That's going to motivate the players. That's going to motivate the fans. So you can just imagine LAFC going into that stadium for leg 2, no matter what the score line is, they're going to put up a fight. Because you remember when Alajuelense came to BMO Stadium for the second leg, when they were down 3-0, Alajuelense put up 2 goals. They put up 2 goals in that game. So it made it a contest.
They won that match.
4-2.
Yeah, they won the match at BMO, but
on aggregate, it was 4-2, of course.
Yeah.
And LAFC went through. So we expect a tough battle from this Costa Rican side.
You know what's weird about going to Alajuelense when that stadium and the fan base, it's one of those crowds. There's not many anymore where it's like that when they barely miss, it's almost more intimidating. It's like but everybody does it. Like, I mean, from the youngest person there to the oldest person, they all in unison. It's like, they're so close. In. Oh man, it's almost like frightening in a way. Like they're so, oh man, they are locked in. That is a good way to put it. And I mean, every person in that stadium seems to just be ready to just jump out of their skin when they do something well too. It is a tough.
One thing though that they got to be aware of is that Marc Dos Santos is going to put out the strongest starting 11 in these games. Yeah. So they got to be aware of that. And
they'll be ready.
Be a tough test.
But they know how good LAFC is too, of course.
Exactly.
Everybody watches the Champions Cup. I mean, Real España, certainly no slouch, and we, took care of business in that round. So let's hope we can continue there. We did have a massive announcement for the competition that you and I have loved and really, promoted in a sense on this show since day one because we love it so much. Yeah. Leagues Cup, the announcement for the teams who will face each other. We now have the format for a second straight year where it's 18 MLS teams, the top 18 made the playoffs, all 18 Liga MX sides, and you only play Liga MX sides in the first round if you're an MLS team, vice versa, right? You're not playing in the first group stage, if you will. You're actually going against MLS sides in the standings, which is awesome, but you're only playing Liga MX sides. I love this format, Mario. I think it's really they found a really good way to do this. So then you're not having too many MLS versus MLS early matches. We don't need that as much. This is going to be awesome. LAFC, though, no easy task in this tournament either. Mario, the announcement comes down. Who are the 3 Liga MX sides we're getting?
LAFC. I mean, the headline one right away is the first one. Yeah. Chivas. That one's going to be the headlining matchup for LAFC.
That's August 5th.
This is that one match where this is what Leagues Cup is all about. These are 2 of the biggest teams in North America. Yeah. The fan base of Chivas is massive all over the place, massive in LA to say the least. So that's going to guarantee a pretty fun atmosphere at BMO Stadium on that night. And then Toluca is the next matchup. And that one's a tough one too, because Toluca is probably one of the most talented, most competitive teams as of late in Liga MX, winning trophies left and right. They have a very dangerous attack. They're fast. A bunch of players with experience that have won a lot of trophies. So that's
might be the best team in CONCACAF. Yeah, I mean, we might be, but they might be as well. That's how good a matchup that is. And even on August 5th, or beg your pardon, that'll be August 8th. We might be the 2 best teams in CONCACAF going at it in that night at August 8th. And then finally, Mario, wrap up on August 12th, Querétaro, who are struggling right now, but it's going to be an interesting game. I love, I don't know why I've always been intrigued by Querétaro. They're not, they struggle sometimes, but they also play hard, and we know that. And it's going to be an interesting matchup as the third matchup, depending on what you need, right? You might be out of it by then, frankly, and it might just be unfortunate that you don't, but you might need it. And it's a good matchup for the third game for LAFC, I think.
Yeah, I know LAFC are going to have to match the intensity and the physicality of all 3 of these teams. That's for sure, because I know these Liga MX teams, whether, Liga MX teams, fans, or whether they like Leagues Cup or not, or they feel like, it's unfair or whatever, when it comes down to the game time and the whistle blows, they are playing their guts out. That is for sure. And they come physical. They come with a lot of intensity and all the tricks in the bag. So LAFC need to match that and be very, very smart. Even though they are probably the better team on paper than a lot of these matchups, this first round is going to be very, very tough. Toluca is a very good team. Chivas, a massive club. So LAFC have to be ready, be smart, be ready for that physicality, that intensity.
Now, one of the things people were wondering about is possible games in Mexico for this tournament. These all are at BMO Stadium. We'll lay that out. We are the home side for all of them. I don't know if we're officially the home team based on how the tournament kind of does their thing.
Not officially.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're at BMO Stadium, of course, for all 3 of these games, August 5th, 8th, and 12th. This is kind of what you would consider the group stage. You go through those 3 matches against these Liga MX sides, but you're really battling the MLS teams to get into the final 8. Top 4 from MLS, they're in one table. All the Liga MX teams are in the other table, top 4 from them. That's why I love this tournament, Mario. I know some people don't like it. It's been a massive success. Some people are still not sold, but here's why I love it. You've got to play what you earn this now in this format. To finish in the top 4 out of 18 teams, you could win all 3 matches technically and not get through on goal difference. You could be perfect in the tournament, not even give up a goal in the tournament, win all 3 matches and still not get through. Very unlikely, but it is possible. That's how, when you advance in this tournament, and if you get to the top 3 and you win a spot in CONCACAF Champions Cup for the next season, you earned it. I don't care what anyone tells you. This tournament is a meat grinder in terms of how difficult it is, which I love. And I love the fact they've trimmed it down to the top 18 MLS teams instead of all 30, because that's also something to play for in MLS too. You got to qualify for this tournament, which gives you an opportunity to get into the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Massive to me. This
and they
is
keep
very
tweaking
difficult.
the tournament. It's not perfect. It hasn't been perfect, but the way they keep tweaking it, it's getting better and better. And the reward is there. CONCACAF Champions, your ticket to the CONCACAF Champions is huge. Every team wants to be into that tournament, and you want to get to the FIFA Club World Cup as well. This is a way. You got to get in there.
By the way, the only game that Toluca is playing outside of Mexico in the first, the group stage, first round, if you will, is against LAFC at BMO. They have 2 home games. There are now 4 games that are going to be played inside Mexico in this tournament. Now, it's not a lot.
They've
Still working out that, but
they've had
2 of them are
couple
Toluca.
last years.
Yeah. 2 of them are Toluca gets to host 2 because they obviously are the defending, they're the best team in Liga MX. I know the standings right now are a little different, but so they are actually going to host a couple of matches in this. The LAFC actually happen to have them at BMO Stadium in this tournament. Yeah. But there are 2 other games going to be played in Mexico as well. We don't know about the knockout stages yet and all that stuff, so we'll figure that out. But again, it's the final 8, 4 from each league go through. That's not a lot out of 18 teams. And that's going to be difficult. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. We always do.
What a way to set it off against Chivas. I mean, that atmosphere is going to be amazing, Dave.
What a great week. Just 3 straight, bam, bam, bam. Saturday through Saturday, so 8 days, 3 massive games at BMO against Liga MX sides, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go around the rest of MLS, Mario. This is the plus side of LAFC Plus here on episode 91 as we get closer to the wrapping up the show. I got to tell you, Mario, there's a few things that stuck out to me so far. And we'll compare the good and the bad. The bad is, what in the world are what is Montreal doing? What is CF Montreal doing? I mean, it's a shame.
I remember that phone call you gave me over the weekend.
My goodness.
You were not impressed, huh?
I was not impressed. I was watching I watched them a lot, actually, this season. Yeah. They were down or up a man for a lot of the game against Chicago. Could not create anything. End up getting, really run off the pitch, up a man for a lot of the second half. Just no fight, no business. Then, of course, they lost their first match. Now, that was a game where they traveled across the country to play San Diego. Obviously, San Diego FC is the next thing we're going to talk about. They're very good, but they got drubbed in that game. What are they doing? It's just contrast that with the San Diego FC, right? Relatively new, still only their second season. Holy cow. Anders Dreyer, one of the greatest signings in MLS history, apparently, truly. And they're just rolling. What is going on there?
Yeah, Anders Dreyer.
You were wrong about that, Reese. You were wrong about San Diego FC.
And this year, I'm giving him all the props in the world. Anders Dreyer is a special player, like you just been talking about. There's no other way to put it about him. The way he finished off that goal this weekend, a lot of people would have took a couple touches on that one. He did not. He hit it first time out of the air, hit it with the inside of his foot and passed it in with a little bit of curl, a little bit of English on it, passed it right into the back of the net. This guy can score. He could pass. He could do it all. MVP type of dude. Of course, I think this year, again, he's going to have one of those big seasons, and he's the reason why. He is the motor to that team right there.
Yeah, I can't agree more. He just... you think you're going to get maybe a game where he's a little slowed down a bit. Okay, he can't play that well every match, right? Well, no, he can, apparently. So they are fully deserving of their start again. They're going to be a very difficult opponent. There's no question about that.
They hit the jackpot with him. What if they do not pick him? I mean,
know. It's a
the
good
way
point.
they scoped him out and said, this is the guy we want. I mean,
Well, let's be realistic.
Who's responsible for that? Because they missed on
was
Chucky.
the guy
exactly.
they wanted. Yeah, they needed that. And they missed. That's a swing and a miss, no doubt. And that's a great point because if you swing and a miss on Chucky, but you never even brought in Anders Dreyer, like who's running that show? I mean, and I know there's got other good players. Like, okay, but Anders Dreyer just makes that thing go. I mean, now you might be able to kind of, if he missed a match here and there, like, yeah, okay, they're established. They have that belief now as an organization, right? But if you didn't have that from day one, wow, imagine it could have been a whole lot different, no doubt. There's a team that I say, Mario, you don't quit on yet, and they haven't been bad. I think the points aren't there yet. They did get a draw in their first game, but St. Louis City has actually impressed me a little bit. They did take a loss in their second game, but don't sleep on them. Now, they do have a tough task. They're going to be hosting Seattle on the weekend, and I think the Sounders kind of need it. They're licking their wounds after a tough game in their second match. So that's going to be a tricky little one there, but I'm liking St. Louis City. Mario, here's a question I have for you. Some of these young players, it's always fun, right? And we always talk about it, but boy, New York Red Bulls and Michael Bradley bringing out the 16-year-old Audrey Mehmeti, who's just getting talked up. This, Julian Hall, what was he? 17, and he's about to turn 18 later this month. Julian Hall looks great. The thing is, though, with kids that young, you're going to have your ups and downs, right? Now, they're all red hot now. Everybody's feeling good about them. But we know that this is a grown man league, and you're going to have your ups and downs if you're relying a lot on kids. That's good, though. I mean, if you can do it, give the kids the minutes, fine, if they're up for it and they deserve them. And it seems like those two do, especially. But, be ready that the Red Bulls may a little bit up and down before they really get going.
Yeah, this happens a lot in football, too, in the world of football, when these kids come up and maybe on the second go-around when they face these teams, it's a little bit tougher than that first one because these players, when they defend these guys, they don't care if they're a little kid. They do not. They'll knock you over. They'll body you. They'll do whatever it takes to win that ball. And soccer's just like that. It's a grown man sport. So when you got these kids jumping in, they got all the talent in the world, all the abilities, but size, like if you got to grow into your man bones, you got to grow into your body to be able to deal with this physicality in MLS. So it's interesting when these kids come up and how they handle the physicality when they get to MLS.
I mean, grown men with mouths to feed and bills to pay can't care that it's a 16-year-old they're playing against.
They don't care.
Matter.
Yeah, they don't care if they knock you over.
Yeah.
They got to feed their family.
And to his credit, Audrey Mehmeti, he looks really good. I can't wait to see him later in the year. We play them September 9th at BMO Stadium.
That's true.
New York Red Bulls come to town for that
rare
game. It's a long way off.
Appearance from the Red Bulls, yeah.
Yeah, rare appearance. You're right. That's a good point. Long way off, but I'm already kind of circling that match in September. Mario, that's going to do it. You got any other games that you're interested in? Anything pop out to you? I think those are kind of the ones we were really, San Diego.
Yeah, those are the ones we were focused on. I do want to continue to watch San Diego because I think San Diego is going to be a threat in the West. Seattle always, of course, but I don't know, Dave. We're going to see how this season plays out, but I think we're getting to that point where there's a couple of teams that are just much better and on another level, and there's not as much parity as there has been in the past in MLS. So we'll see how it plays out, but I'm excited.
That's a very, very good point, actually. It's early, but it's kind of showing that way. I can't disagree. So we'll see how that plays out as well.
It's too early to tell, but I think it could be going that way,
Absolutely.
Which is a good thing.
I'm not going to disagree with you, and I'm not going to call you out for that one. That's a good, even if it doesn't turn out that way, I like it. I like your thinking early in this season. LAFC hosting FC Dallas Saturday. That's coming up March 7th. You'll hear the play-by-play on the ESPN LA app. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Pacific. Kickoff a little after 7:30 on the ESPN LA app. Great stuff, Mario, as always. Thanks so much to Hotel Indigo, this LAFC Plus presented by Hotel Indigo Los Angeles. We appreciate their support. Episode 91, we thank you most of all for listening. Check us out. Listen to the matches if you can. Leave some comments if you watch this show on YouTube or find us wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate it. Mario, great stuff as always, brother. Take us out of here.
It's the home opener 2.0, as I'm going to call it. I can't wait to see everybody there. Can't wait to see you there, Dave. Check us out. ESPN LA on the ESPN LA app, starting at 7 p.m. with the pregame. LAFC, FC Dallas. We'll catch you on the next one. This has been LAFC Plus.